Hello everyone, welcome to another Waterpolo University lesson, and today we're going to be speaking about 6-on-5 defense. This is a really important part of the game for the reason that in the tight games, when we have around 15 ejections in the game, it's really difference if we have 30% successive defense or 60% successive defense. And in this case, it's really a game changer if every single player understand their role and what they're supposed to do in every single moment of the man up. So this is what I'm going to be speaking about today, and we're going to go position by position what you're supposed to do when any player in the game has a ball. So this is going to represent the ball, and we're going to mark the defensive players with the red marker. And the first one that we're going to start with is going to be this position over here. So I'm going to simplify 6-on-5 as much as I can in terms that it's going to be either when the player has the ball, what you're supposed to do as a defender, or when the player doesn't have the ball, what you're supposed to do as a defender. So if the ball starts at position 1, the defender, this person, when this player has the ball, this person is supposed to be shot blocking the near side. So usually this is going to be righty, so we're supposed to have our left arm up, and we are supposed to shot block near side here with the left arm up. So this is the first part. So when this player has the ball, we have our left arm up and we are shot blocking this part. The next step for this position is when this player does not have the ball. So let's say the ball gets passed towards here. This player is supposed to have the arm on this player. So this post should feel the physical contact from this position all the time whenever this player doesn't have the ball. So it doesn't matter if the ball is here or the ball gets passed here or the ball gets passed here. This player is supposed to have the left arm on the shoulder of the post with your legs pointing towards this direction. Because whenever the ball arrives to this player, to the wing, you're supposed again to come back and shot block with your left arm the near side here. And this is going to be the most basic explanation what this position is supposed to do. And this also is covering 90% of the situations that you're going to find yourself into. The next position I'm going to be speaking about is this one here. Again, this is going to be righty. And whenever this player has the ball, you are supposed to cover near side with your left arm, because this is going to be righty. So when this player has the ball, your job is to cover near side. As soon as this player passes the ball anywhere else, let's say to the right side, you're supposed to face the ball. So you're supposed always to face the ball, so you know where the ball is, and the movement from your legs is going to be easier later. With your left arm, you're supposed to have the arm on the shoulder of this post with your legs pointing this way. So arms here, you're holding this post with your legs pointing toward this direction, because whenever this player is receiving the ball, you're supposed to go over hips again into the shot block and shot block the near side. So if this player receives the ball, you're supposed again to face the ball. So hold this player with your right hand and then have your legs towards the direction of this player. And again, to put it in a simple way, both of those positions have the role that when the player has the ball, you're supposed to cover the near side. When the player does not have the ball, you're supposed to hold the post with your legs pointing towards the outside players, because whenever they receive the ball, you're supposed to go over hips and stop in the shot block. In case that this player starts going towards the middle and comes all the way to the middle, this player is also supposed to put the right arm towards this direction to cover this side. But this is also the difference in the tactics of different coaches. So what I'm trying to cover now, I'm just trying to explain the simple and basic rules that are covering 90% of the situations in the 6-on-5. So we're going to continue now with so we're clear with those two upper defenders. We're going to continue now to this wing over here. Sorry, this is X. My bad. This defender over here. When the ball is at the right wing, this defender is supposed to do exactly the same thing as the other wing here. When he has the ball, you're supposed to cover the near side with your right arm if it's lefty, or the left arm if it's righty. So whenever we are having the shot block, we are supposed to have the opposite arm. So whenever this player has the ball, you're covering the near side. When this player does not have the ball, you're supposed to hold this post with your legs towards the player. So your legs will always be towards the player, because whenever they receive the ball, you're supposed to go over hips into the shot block. So this is going to add additional speed how fast you're arriving in the shot block, so they cannot catch and shoot or do any kind of fast shots. So again, whenever this player has the ball, you're covering the near side. Whenever this player does not have the ball, you're supposed to hold this post, and you're supposed to be having your legs towards the direction of the player who will receive the ball later. With that being said, we are moving now to the middleman, which is, in my opinion, at the same time the hardest position to play, but just because of different variations of the tactics that teams are doing with different post movements that the middle player is supposed to cover. So now I'm going to be covering just very basics, as I did for all the other positions, but we'll have different lesson really just for the middle position, because it requires a lot of attention and is probably the key part besides goalie in man down and how to do proper defense there. But for now, we're going to start with position 1. So as a middle player, you're supposed to have your arm on this post, and you're supposed to have your legs towards this direction. So your legs are going to be towards this direction, and you're not supposed to shot block anything from this unless the player is opening up. But this is again subject to your own coach's decision. But basic rule is hold the post, the closer post to the ball, and have your legs towards the further post. As soon as the ball is moving to this player, what you're supposed to do now is, from the middle, you need to shift to this post, put your left arm on their shoulder, and put your right arm all the way up so you're covering cross cage. By putting your left arm on their shoulder, you're gonna add a couple extra inches or centimeters, which can really save the goal in some situation. And why wouldn't you make their life harder and your life easier? So whenever you can do that, you're supposed to do that in this game. So this is if this player has the ball, and then if the ball moves to this side, you're supposed to do exactly the same thing on this side. So put your right arm on the shoulder of this post, and you're supposed to cover this shot. And we're moving now to the right wing. Whenever the right wing has the ball, you're going to be doing the same tasks as you did when the other wing had the ball. So you're going to be having your arm on the shoulder of this post with your legs pointing towards this direction. And in this way, you're going to be able to hold this post, not let them move as they want. And at the same time, you're going to have prepared body to move towards the other post. So with this, I would conclude the basic rules of 6-on-5 defense, or it's better to say 5-on-6. And every single position has different variations, again, based on the coach's tactic and based also on the opponent team, what they're trying to do. This is 4-2. So we have 4 people in the first line, 2 people in the second line, which is going to be the most common case. But sometimes it's going to be 3-3. Again, this is some special circumstances which I didn't speak about today. These are the simple rules for each position on 6-on-5. And just if you apply those properly, in 90% of the situations, you're going to be able to have good defense and you're going to be in the right spot. And when every single person understands their own role in the man down, it's going to be way easier to successfully defend from the opponent.